Hello everybody and welcome back. We are here with some more 14k Rogue Trader. We are just about to jump into this elevator and see where we go.
Is there money to be made?
Yeah, we're gonna go back this way and see where it goes. I can jump.
Experience. Nothing matters more.
Do I need to... Ah! Turn it on. Where do I get the control run? Sorry, each minute because of the interest control run is required. P. I believe 100% means like you can now like sell that for like a credit. That makes sense. Power to the elevator is the elevator rod can be rebuilt in the laboratory using blood and the sacred mechanism. I guess they are all in one spot.
An expected result.
I always keep my options open.
Did I miss? Ah. Nope. Awaken it. Examine the log, maybe. Reason it. Totally got. Station document log. Identity confirmed. Region Aronto. Stelio. Data visit classified. Reason visit classified. Data departure classified. Incident log. The servant close to the child have started butchering one another again. An order came from above to have their remains repossessed. The negotiations with the skin to scales were a success. The new batch of servants will arrive in 10 moons. Escort them to the laboratory at once. It is imperative that we increase the new retainer's resistance to the child's power. Okay, maybe the child did it not. Warning, damage in technical compartments. Living quarters, depressurizing. Ooh, alright. This is Officer A828. Do you copy? Several generators overheated in the lower levels. Chamber A2D are unpowered. The tech priest crew sent to investigate the problem is not responding. Request backup. Cut off. Officer 8123 speaking. 200 servants have perished due to the explosive decompression of the living quarters. Jesus. We've located traces of mechanical interference. The preliminary cause of these officers sabotage. Jesus. Crews 5, 6, and 9 are cut off from the main compartment. We have enough oxygen for 20 minutes. Wow. Senior station officers, this is the captain speaking. We attempted to make contact with those interscaler silence for help, but something is jamming the signal. We never received a reply and cannot be sure it was even sent in the first place. The rescue team is not coming. We are on our own. Remain vigilant. Anyone could be a traitor. You hear me? Anybody? Maybe use something else in the chamber control. Turn. No. Just random shit. There's nothing to go that way.
Let us not dawdle. Rise to the top, or get left in the dust.
something out here? Something good.
Compared to naval service, that was barely a challenge.
Where's this thingy? I legit have no idea.
Always keep your eye on the price.
Experience. Nothing matters more.
Is there money to be made?
I'm not 100% sure. Let's go back into the journal and see what they have to say. There's nothing on there really to help us. Let me go talk to the cogitator again because that is the only thing you can interact with.
I always have a plan.
Let's touch some more buttons and see what happens. Let's talk to our buddy. Awaken him. I want to main chamber controls. 0 1 0 0 1 1 0 1 0 1. There is no 0 1. There's no 0 1 0. 0 1 1 0. 0 1 1 1. Please give me a skeleton according to the door is already open. The door is already open. Protocol has been executed. The passage has been opened. Looks promising. I can use that big door. Excellent. Yeah, that's... Yeah, remember now I clicked that button. Is there like another door open? It wasn't open before, I bet you.
Let us not dawdle.
Oh, hello. Friends. Just needed to get that the first time. Anyway. Oh. This is literally the laboratory, excellent. Let's rob the place first. Okie dokie. Who knows what this random shit is? Open the door! Another key. What's this? Caustic stance of the region, searing your nostrils, and broken glass crunches underfoot. Somebody wanted to destroy the laboratory.
I always keep my options open.
Research notes. More notes. We will read them before we start this process. Glass data connects script. Okie dokie.
I do what I must.
Synthetic amniotic fluid pools across the floor, barely discernible traces stretched to the opposite side. Looks like they were growing someone. I mean something. I mean someone.
Keep your wits about you.
Okay, let's get reading. Flesh sample with numerous outgrowths covered in a mesh of bluish black veins. We read interceptions between a crazy officer, security officer. Does she have a pendant? There you go, you can have that. And then that's the thing, that's a gun, let's do some sorting. That's probably a bad idea. 3, that's prison stuff, that's an outlaw's gun. Unfinished letter, that was all old, that was all old. New stuff now. A good major domo attempts to nurture only the finest of flowers in the garden that is their master's life. Therefore, new seeds for the garden must be weeded out with the utmost care so that the gardener's trees may yield the sweetest fruit. The lessons below will help you separate the precious seeds from the vile thorns to cultivate the perfect garden for any lady navigator. A faithful servant always makes sure their mistress's room and garments are clean. A faithful servant will never offer their mistress the same dress presented earlier in the cycle. A faithful servant offers their mistress a glass of fresh water upon waking. A faithful servant tastes each dish and every drink before serving it to their mistress. A faithful servant must have mastered the art of styling their mistress's hair. The total time that 5 servants can spend on the arrangement to the mistress's coiffure, I have no idea what that word is, should not exceed 3 revolutions on the chronometer. So 3 minutes? The faithful servant lives for their mistress and gladly gives their life for her as well. A faithful servant. That was that one. I don't think these have anything to read about. No. And then we have research notes of the thingy. Let's bleed this first. That's nothing else. Oh, sorry. A crumpled sheet of paper with a drawing of a tall woman and a dark-eyed monster painted with fresh blood. Research notes, laboratory journal. Okie dokie. Experiment section. The child's influence on the psycho-emotional state of various representations of the Imperium. Access level or Stelio T prime. Experiment H45451, lowborn male. Test subjects exhibit signs of acute stress, and the majority perished of blood loss within a day of being placed in the laboratory chamber due to the inability to halt the discharge of ocular secretion. So they cried themselves to death. And the body's subsequent replacement of these secretions with the connected tissue of its internal environment. The individuals with the greatest resistance to the sacred child's resonance died several chronoturns later. Extensive wounds in the abdomen, presumably inflicted by a jagged piece of metal. Death was caused by strangulation with the subject's own intestines. Oh shit, they slit their own stomachs and strangled themselves to death with their own intestines. The subject's final shouts exhibited concerns of abdominal tentacles and void worms, hallucinations prescribed to their own internal organs. H45452, lawborn female. The test subjects died within an hour of entering the laboratory adjacent to the child's chamber. Most had their tongues bitten off or their jaws badly desiccated. Some test subjects lacked the physical strength to separate it from the rest of the skull. Cause of death: severe head injuries caused by impacts from walls or the floor. H45453. Subgroup: a paralyzed patient who lost the ability to speak due to the shock caused by a manufactorial incident. Male. The test subject noted a tingling sensation in the deteriorating tissue during Regent Arnotto Orselio's visit to the child. The test subject smiled and started humming, most likely trying to carry some plebeian tune, and then attempted to address the servant who brought him food. The lengthy conversation was prohibited due to the servant's lack of tongue. H4545 4 subgroup, a defective offspring of Lord P. Ostelia announced unfit for studying the high art of navigation owing to the mutation of tissues required for installation of the obligatory augments that merge one's consciousness with the vessel. Additionally, they display an overall feebleness of mind, female. The test subject mirrored the child's actions for 3 days. On the 4th day, the child became upset after hearing the news about the untimely demise of Amos Cantarelli, an officer of her personal guard. As a result, one of the test subjects peeled away several layers of tissue from her face and died from the resulting massive heart attack. The last surviving test subject was executed for attempting to contact the child. Jesus. And we got part 12. More and more servants are being influenced by the immaterium, and it has nothing to do with the child's more frequent tantrums. We've discovered that the corrupted flesh of the mutated reacts most unusually with the crystals we purchased from the Winterscale dynasty. I strongly remember finely grinding the reagent to catalyze the reaction. Do not use acid under any circumstances. Trust me, you will not like having to tend to the burns for the next dozen turns in a row. This calls for something more basic. Oh, and one more thing. The tech priest blessed the datacrypt 41 OK for the calculated number of chronoturns, which means it is no longer necessary to remain near the device while waiting for the reaction to start. The datacrypt 40 KO, manufactured over the course of that research, should remind the technomats to deliver this sacred mechanism into the Magos Dioctius's capable hands. Okay. So we can do something. If we get the psi crystal and grind that and add it to the 40. No, add it to the 41. It's fine. Let's check this one. Keeper Theobald graciously agreed to provide samples of his skin growth so we could study the influences of the rebellious immaterium on the flesh of the Navis Nobilistes. Just as we thought, navigators are positively resistant to the restless currents of the warp, the God Emperor truly does shield some people against corruption and misery. But let us get back to the study of mortal flesh. Another servant will be carried in shortly. I must ready the organ extraction equipment. Adamantine dust and black water. This was the worst idea that could have ever entered my mind. God Emperor be praised, I am lucky to still have my head on my shoulders after this reckless experiment. Nevertheless, we did make an important discovery. The adamantine seems to protect the frail flesh of the Lobon to a degree. Having said that, not even the Mecharator can handle its temper, so we should probably introduce a more complex compound into the formula. All of the data related to the experiment were recorded to datacrypt K040H. Sorry. I will get back to them later once I'm done with the experiment H41OK. I have mentioned that the chunk of meteorite found by Keeper Ferek's subject is completely useless, although its shining granules could be used to make new paints for the child. Yes, I think I'm going to do exactly that. Okay. So yeah, adamantine is useless. We have the transducer, we have a reagent flask, a catalyst flask, a tissue flask. I don't have any reagents. We need to...
This could be an opportunity. Always keep your eye on the prize.
Okay. Take requested data crypts and calculate the credit. Do not use asset in these circumstances. Purified salmon from the ocean, olive oil, and 42. black water, biogel or acid. So it must have to use the biogel. Adamantine dust and black water was the worst idea ever. Experiments were recorded. So KO4OH must go with adamantine and acid. I'm just gonna say because I don't know what's gonna happen if I don't know if I'm gonna waste this stuff or anything. The Navigator's flesh sample. Oh no, I'm gonna go with the mutated flesh sample. I'm gonna go with O4. We're gonna go with a acid, and we're gonna go with adamantine. Huh. I'm gonna try that again a couple of times, probably. I think there was one that... more and more students being influenced by material child, bless, blah 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 blah. Let's go down. See, usually the crystal spiritual in the West I was trying to finally grinding the region to catalyze the reaction and couldn't acid under an external trash me. But this calls for some more basic. Oh, and one more thing, the tech freeze base bless the crowd encrypt 41. Don't from long shot the course of Russia should remain. Don't take a mess to the second minute to the no, that's fine. So it's 41. And then we have adamantine dust and black water is a no-no. Don't know about the flesh sample, if I have to use the flesh samples. I don't know if there's anything else I'm missing about this. Already done that. Mirror make control. But does that take any? Oh, okay, I just mirror make it. Alright. Navigator flesh sample. Read 41. They wanted the not the acid, so let's try biogel and crystal. Go. I'll try one more time. Let's go. Come on. Let's do black water this time. No. Yes. No acid. Black water should be fine. Alrighty, everybody. I'm gonna have a little mess around, and when something cool comes back, we will be back. Basically, I'm just gonna put some random shit in. I'll let you guys all know what I put in and stuff, but I'll try a couple of different combinations and see how it... Alright, everybody, I have found two things that work. So we use the mutated flesh for 41. Yep. With the biogel, I used the Navigator flesh. That was about, and then with the crystal dust, should be good.
Oh, it's a peculiar thing.
Dark goods. We have a shimmering motion. User permanently gains 1+1 psi rating and 30% more chance to trigger peril of the waterfall. Not sure what that means. And then I found another one. I don't know if there's more, but this is where I got stuck. I found one for 4K. Sorry, the 04H one, not finished one. I haven't made. I didn't make anything work with that. And then we want the acid because the black water doesn't react with the adamantine dust. Guessing the other one might just paint.
What do we have
I found two,
here?
and then I know there's only 3 combinations, and then I gave up, so we'll try this one. And then we will try this. Goodness, why not? When exposed, it doesn't matter. Done, remix control rod. Perfect, let's get out of here. When I had to write those down, I was never going to remember them. The notes didn't help me at all really, by the way.
An expected result.
Rise to the top, or get left in the dust.
Alrighty, up we go! Control room is quite... I have the control rod. Do I have to give it to old mate? I do. Ferek stereo looks a little... looks a little better. His tangled hair is now neatly braided, his wounds are tightly bandaged, and there is some healthy colour under the scales on his cheeks. You dealt with the threat of power and powered the elevator. Well done. I trust you brought the activation rod as well. Remember, every second of hesitation may cost the mistress her life. Yadira suddenly cocks her head and drives her nails deep into her shoulder, then she starts mumbling. The crossroads, there are 2 paths, both stained with blood, both leading to the accursed eye. They all wear masks, so poor and flimsy, they fall at the slightest touch, one hiding a blind man, another a traitor. Thank you, everything is clear now. Tell me more about what paths. I cannot say. One is paved with blind faith, the other with hatred and treachery. Both lead to tragedy. You simply have to decide what kind of tragedy you like the most. Who is who? Who do you see behind the masks? My whispers are giggling nastily. They will not speak the naughty little things. They say that tearing off the mask is your concern. Thank you. I do not understand a single word. This station has enough problems without your sorcery, psycho. Ferek waves Adira off and looks at you expectantly. Keep the key? The darkness swirling in Ferek Oll's bottom's eyes as he stares into sharper in the defensive snarl. Care to explain yourself, scion of the Von Valencia dynasty? What is the meaning of this? Who is the child mentioned in the documents and reports found on this station? Madman commits. We were the traitors. Sure. Ferek gives an indefinite shot. That's why they are insane. Will you really heed the ramblings of retainers who dared to raise their hand against the scions of the noble bloodline? These guys didn't look mutated at all. They looked like, you know, some kind of high guard or something. Perhaps some servants. Yeah, most servants cannot. The servants alone cannot be blamed for what happened in the station. Most corpses are discovered were either unharmed or feeble. Sorry, I mean unharmed. If I said unharmed. The warp corrupts not only the soul, but just as much the body and its mind. Mad and furious, a single servant wielded more strength than an entire squad of the mistress's personal guards. The bodyguards had their minds fogged as well, but their honed will let them hold out just long enough to destroy those who rushed in to assault them with bare hands. Destroying the shuttle, shutting off the power, and disabling the security systems, too many things required special access available only to the keepers of the station. As I'm sure you are aware, there were 2 keepers of the station. Your guess is absolutely correct. Theobald Orselio, the demented old man obsessed with Lady Cassia and her power, and also the one to blame for the woes that have befallen Eurac V and our noble line. So security cameras report only the keepers have access to the station system, but he stayed at his side the entire time and could not have I want to ask about the child first. You meddled with something that you should have been left alone. The keeper folds his arm and shakes his head disapprovingly. The child is what the station servants call Lady Cassia. For the commoners, dirty mouths must not sully her name by uttering it, you see. It is not beneficial for all servants to have their vocal organs altered. Some prove to be more useful when they are able to speak. seems like you. Yeah, I listened to a recording of a private conversation between the station's officer. You have very lenient towards them, purposely neglecting the security protocols. I was lenient, this is true, and in the end I paid a steep price for it. Just look at the destruction around us. The insurgents have left almost nothing of my home. I saw the security captain's report. Only the keepers have access to the station system, but Theobald stayed at his side the entire time and could not have initiated the self-destruct protocol, which means he did it before the report was filed, or maybe after, or... Ferek's stern face twists in disgust. You dare suspect me of what happened? You dare suspect me of what happened? The one who is going out of this way to preserve what little there is still left. By the God Emperor, you will keep those slanderous accusations to yourself. What are we doing? I trust you. Let's rescue your mistress. Exhales loudly and smiles. Thank you, rogue trader. I don't even know what to say. Status and honor prevent me from admitting it before now, but you have woken hope in me, hope that I might actually leave this station together with the mistress, which is why I am about to ask you one favour. The lowly insurgents got their hands on a weapon that suppresses my Navigator powers. The absence makes me a living target, but this weapon is useless against us, as is the bunch of lunatics wielding it. I humbly ask you to deal with this scum huddling upstairs and hurry to adorn my mistress with the relic of our house, the sacred amulet against all evil. Recent events have badly disturbed Lady Cassia's psyche, and warp entities always leak lust for weaker souls, especially when the veil grows thin. You two will be safe next to this charm. If you turn out to be a lousy navigator or worse off, I'll personally feed you to a white kraken just so we're clear. Very well, let's go. Precious stone lacking... Okay. Oh, sorry. A precious stone lacking a setting, it is always called to the touch. You're going to need this charm. Ferek hands you a precious stone without any setting. Its luminous surface remains cold to the touch no matter how long you hold it to your hand. And may the God Emperor's light be in your way. Let's go! Okie dokie. With unnaturally long limbs covers her face with her hands, which are deformed like talon-like nails. Her deathly pale face is coated with blood that continually stems from her scary, scarlet-misted eyes. Her spiny gills, slightly hidden under her disheveled hair, twitch nervously at your approach. Only now do you notice the third eye on the young woman's forehead, hidden by a jeweled ornament, and when your eyes meet, you sense overwhelming, soul-smothering power. As the otherworldly creature gaze slides over you, your entire core shudders in terror. Flashes of past warp nightmares you survived to brush your death before the law sometime in your distant past re-emerge from the shadows of your memory and paralyze your will. You gasp for air in terror, drowning under a crushing wave of pain. You cannot catch your breath. Hot tears burn your cheeks. Why is this happening? Why is this happening to you? Why do you feel so lonely and in so much pain? Do these feelings even belong to you? Idira emits something between a moan and a drawn-out whimper. Oh, it's as if my little pals weren't bad enough. Now this one's barging into my head. Somebody stop her! Heresy! Argenta looks at the tall figure with a strange mix of anger and sadness. Then she lowers her head, and her white hair veils her face. With a sunny expression, Kibella wipes a single tear that has run down her cheeks. These are not my emotions. Mine have long since been cut out of my soul. Give the order, Sigismund. I cannot withstand this delirium much longer. Apologies about future. Come the crushing despair. I know why I am here, so I will stand strongly against any illusion. Wound her, bring the stone. I'm going to persuade her. Lady Cassia, I'm here to help you. Please calm yourself. Persuasion Successful. She warily shakes her head and lets out a drawn-out sound similar to both a sob and a howl of a small and wounded animal. What is happening? Was someone calling my name? Are all the betrayers dead already? And you? Who are you? Sigismund von Valencia. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. Yeah. Pardon my malicious Sigismund. I did not expect to make such a gracious acquaintance in such a time of sorrow for our house. What is it? What is this? I feel faint. The heavy-set old man who has been kneeling nearby, erupts in a low sob, his eyes swollen from crying, dart desperately around the room as though the veil of ignorance has just been ripped away from them. The child, Lady Cassia, where are you? Sacred child, throne preserve! Despite his venerable age, the Navigator leaps up and rushes to the young woman's side. You! The old man shifts, reveals his face to you, and is threaded with jet black veins, and his bulgy, milky eyes bear a striking resemblance to those of a dead fish. A sickly sweet scent assaults your nostrils as if the old man's flesh is rotting inside the decaying husk. My eyes fail me, for they are unable to make you out as either enemy or ally. I'm warning you, one wrong move will bring down the house of Ocelio upon your head. Watch out, Lord Captain. This one's so deranged it's making the whispers shriek like crazy. He might just open that eye of his. Threatening the head of a dynasty is a grave offense, esteemed whoever you are. Abelard places a hand on his weapon. You will answer for everything you have brought upon this station. Surrender and slowly step away from Lady Cassia. At present I am trying to determine what is happening. Yep. Grant that you do not look like pirates who have come coveting the riches of our Eurac station, or like scoundrels in Ferek's service. Who are you? Sigismund von Valencia, rogue trader. Another rogue trader in our corner of the galaxy. How interesting. Your kind always makes an appearance in desperate times, ready to cut a deal that benefits one side alone. Given that you have not so far drawn your weapons, your intentions are probably peaceful, and so House Ocelio now ask a service of you. Save the life of the child in exchange for future cooperation. Do not hurry to answer. Think on it. You can make yourself an ally or an enemy of our house today. You decide. What is this curse that has taken hold of everyone in the room? Theobald frowns. Curse? You do not understand the sacred gift given to our child. When the child is sad, we all weep. When the child smiles, we all laugh giddily. And if the child wants blood, the world turns crimson. The child's will is the will of the great Tisiphone? For she is the heir of House Ocelio. And they call me dangerous for my witchcraft. I want to know what happened between you and Ferek. Ferek is my wayward student. He came to Eurac V, and as a callow youth, I personally mentored him and entrusted him with the care of the child. He was like a son to me, but he proved to be just another traitor. He sought to steal our most precious treasure, the heir of our house, our sacred child, to revel in power with others like him, casting our house into the abyss to prevent the century-long tradition of our family. You can see the fruits of his villainy for yourself. He decided he was not bound by his duties to the legacy of the greatest of our navigators, Tisiphone Ocelio, who led our house to prosperity for countless years. Foolish boy. The renegades clouded his mind. They sought to seize control of a dynasty before the sacred child had come of age and taken up the Navigator's throne. So choose which side you are on, a murderous traitor or the lawful scion of the noble house. Theobald speaks these words softly, looking at the unconscious young woman with reverence. Attack. Ferek is a true monster. I've had enough with this. That's it, I'm leaving. Ferek accused you of treachery, Theobald. Why should I trust your words? Defending myself before strangers, I never thought I would fall so low. The old man looks at the unmoving Cassia and shakes his head in resignation. If the child's life were not at stake, very well. I have no choice of proof of my innocence. I can give you a word as a member of the Navas Nobilite. If the honest word of an honourable man counts for anything with you, I guarded this station against calamity and incursions from without to the best of my ability. I forced the wardens to strictly observe security protocols. I personally selected every servant, and I faithfully protected the child during the coup. What service would you ask of me? Hope glimmers in the Navigator's milky eyes. Save the sacred child. Take her away from this station. I fear I do not have long left. The bluish rivulet trickles down the old man's chin, and he wipes the mutated blood briskly away with his sleeve. You glimpse strange burns covering his flesh under his clothing. A slightest movement must be causing him unbearable pain. Save the child and deliver her safely to Regent Aronotto, the acting head of House Ocelia in the Conus Expanse. Rest assured that the reward will be worth effort. I know we came here for a Navigator, but after everything we've seen, I've got some reservations about this girl. Argenta looks at Cassia, and a painful furrow appears on her brow. Such a fragile thing with such a heavy burden on her shoulders. You're talking as though you expect to die here. Shrugs indifferently. My service to the house is coming to an end. The wounds Ferek inflicted on my flesh will never heal. I am dying. Praise the throne. Slowly enough to see the child is taken care of. How could you lose control? You need help with Medicate on my deck. No, I am the keeper of Eurac V, and I will perish alongside with my station. On that note, I have others matters to attend to. How could you lose control of your station? Do not thrust my errors in my face. I am twice your age and twice as wise. Take my advice. Do not trust but yourself and the Emperor. Even those closest to you will betray you for power, gold, or a far-fetched idea of a bright future. Ferek is the true monster, I believe. Let's do away with him together. The evolved allies. Allies are always welcome, even temporary ones. I will revive the child. Do not be alarmed. The power of House Ocelia is able will help us to destroy our enemies and shield us from Ferek's Navigator forces, but you rest for a time before the battle. Cut that out. Yeah, it is as if the painting was rendered by several different hands at him in uncertain lines. Gauge.
Should I divine our next step?
I always have a backup plan.
Luxurious feast was left untouched. But he does some shit. Sounds good. What else we got? Nothing else. Your trophies were packed. Let's go. Let's do a level up. What do we got? Whenever an ally uses a heroic act, that ally gains temporary wounds. Got it. Yeah, what did I want to do? I wanted to... No. Enemy suffer minus 20% to dodge. Allies become the secondary target. These characters arc rifle. Power weapons. No. The character's first attacked with a Weber. No. Take ballistic skill, because mine is quite low, but I feel like that's also a waste. That's recommended. More resolve. Officer targets an ally with an action and ability. On an attack, the ally's resolve is increased by 1 until the end of the officer's next turn. Distack effects. Whenever the officer targets an ally with an ability for the first time in the round, Blood of Martyrs. Whenever I use a heroic act, that ally gains. Now let's go for offensive. Allies under the support. Take aim also increases the damage. Officers and allies with a whisk deal an extra 50% damage change that are not acted. Vigilant. Allies under the effect of the officer's abilities gain a bonus to their weapon skill equal to 8 and will do 5 more damage on weapon attacks of opportunity until the start of. That's not bad. Imperial work characters, no, none of this really helping me. I'm tempted to go last weapon expert because I'm using that long last for a while and I want to keep using probably. Defensive. Armor of Contempt. Whenever an ally is affected by an officer ability to turn, they get temporary wounds. That grants temporary wounds. Okay, discipline. Allies affected valves gain bonus to all resistant tests +6. That's pretty good. I mean, if a noble and their servant are adjacent to each other at the start of the noble's turn, they both get temporary wounds equal to the servant's toughness bonus or fellows. Lady training, toughness training. No. I'm tempted to also just go like for basic movement. Use voice command or bring it down for the first time in combat. It costs less. That's not bad. Lead by example. Officer uses 2 officer archetype abilities that do not grant an extra turn in 1 round. The officer gains stand witness. Officer's next archetype ability does not grant an extra turn. That does not grant and will also affect the officer. Okay, not bad, but don't very good right now. I don't think. Whenever the officer's ability grants action points to an ally, that ally also grants +1 to all characteristics for every action point gained until the end of combat. That's not bad. Whenever an ally starts a turn adjacent to the officer, the ally gets an additional 2 move points. Nah. Taking aim also increases the damage of the next ranged attack by 5%. This bonus is increased by 1% for each cell between the attacker. That's good. I like that. What's we got? We have Persuasion, Commerce. That'll take me to 75. That'll take me to 85. Let's go. Let's be persuasive. Alright. Biomancy. Ah, that's right. And allows anything effective at least one psychic power applied, but this psychic additional 7% armor penetration. First dodge attempt, no. All the psychic attacks, including attacking psychic powers, now poison enemies. The poison deals 6 toxic damage at the start of each enemy's turn. That's what I wanted. Definitely. Then deterioration. Whenever an effect applied by the psychic increases the damage suffered by the target. Uses a damaged psychic power on the target that are 6 cells or further from the psychic. The target takes more damage. While the psychic is not in the target's line of sight, or the psychic is in cover or resistant tests. That's pretty good. Force weapons deal an initial +2 damage. If the psychic kills an enemy, no. Anytime the ability becomes actually kills an enemy with psychic power, dealing more damage to the target's wound, the excess damage will be dealt to the enemy closest to the target. Alright, that's actually really good. She overkills all the time. Downfall the first no, and then with Age of Fate, the beginning of combat to the psychos allies gain 15% critical hit chance of first critical hit. That's just pretty good in general. For each adjacent ally, the soldier deals damage. Whenever the soldier deals damage, their critical damage is increased. No. Soldier deals damage to 3 different enemies. The soldier gains 20% more damage for their next attack in the current combat. That's not bad. Each shot fired from the soldier grants over 1 agility. No. Soldier demolition. Intelligence. It's used to determine additional damage with ranged attack area attacks. Does that include? Yeah, Burst is not considered an area. I didn't think so. Enough bullets for everyone. A soldier's second attack action in the turn deals 15% more damage to enemies that have not suffered damage. It's not bad. Full cover against an enemy soldier gains plus 10% damage against that enemy, and the enemy's attack deal minus 20% damage against the soldier, and their cover if the cover is present at the moment. So they have to have full cover. That's not too bad. Muscle velocity. For each hit, the first hit of each burst range attack deals an additional damage to equal to the weapon's current weapon fire rate. Area. Enemy damage to the soldier. Area attacks suffer 3 damage. No. Trace trajectory. No. Unfaithful firing. Rapid fire no longer reduces damage. Oh, that's actually really good. You my demolitionist. Blade dancer. Athletics. Pretty good demolition. Okay. And then anytime an ability or talent uses the fellowship bonus, a Voidborn character can instead use its intelligence bonus if it is higher. Additionally, Voidborn characters can always upgrade intelligence even if their archetype doesn't allow it. Was it Jinx, I think? More than 50% wounds all character chances of the creature. All chances of all creatures, including enemies, in a 3-cell radius are increased by 10%. Okay, yep. Voidborn characters 30% survive after suffering lethal damage. Parries or dodges after an enemy all enemies with plus 10 effects suffer stacks of this effect. All enemies with the blood suffer +1 stack. Oh, okay, +1 blood stack. So if an advanced creature with the blood blessed or bloodstained effect gains +1 stack of this effect when the bleeding, burning, or toxin is applied. No. Another one I was looking at, I think, was Combat Master. Yeah, Dueling Master. Grants plus 50% bonus to parries. Is good. I actually just wanted to move further. That's really important. And Abelard. Athletics and Karos. Toughness, I guess. Get that one really high. Whenever the warriors attack, they gain 1 additional stack. No. Warriors hit while under the effects, the damage deflection is increased by 1 until the end of warrior's next turn. Okay, that's not bad. I do want him to move over to. Really important. Gaze, guards, servants.
I always keep my options open.
What feels less vivid perception. Apparently. Hey, that's rude. What are you doing on that ship? What do you got, Adira? Denial of nightmares. Informed by a psycho, the wearer gains immunity to the horrors of the warp effect. Nice. Alright, everybody, that is going to be the end of today's episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and you can join us next time for some more Rogue Trader when we finally finish off at Eurac V. After this, we will be heading straight to Rykadis, whatever it is, Rykadia Minor, and we will get into talking to the Winter Teeths. Or maybe we'll do some shopping first, but probably head straight to the planet. Easy. Thanks, guys. Peace out.